Meet the tallest mammal on Earth, with a secret that will change everything you thought you knew about giraffes. They can grow up to 18 feet tall, which is just crazy, and they've developed some amazing adaptations to survive in their environment. One of the most obvious adaptations is their long neck, which lets them reach leaves and fruits that other animals can't. It's like they have their own personal snack bar, and they can eat all day without having to compete with other animals for food. But having a long neck isn't just about eating. It's also about seeing predators from a distance, and giraffes have excellent eyesight. They can spot a lion or a hyena from over a mile away, which gives them plenty of time to run away or defend themselves. Giraffes also have super long eyelashes, which might seem like a weird adaptation, but they actually help to protect their eyes from the sun and from dust. And they have special valves in their neck to stop their brains from getting too much blood when they bend down to drink. It's like a built-in pressure regulator. Now you might be wondering, how do giraffes drink water without passing out? Well, it's because of these special valves. They help to stop the blood from rushing to their brain. And they also have really tight skin on their legs, which helps to stop their blood from pooling in their legs when they're standing up. This is important because giraffes need to be able to run away from predators quickly. And if their blood was pooling in their legs, they wouldn't be able to run very fast. So it's a pretty cool adaptation. Giraffes also have really big hooves, which might seem like they would be clumsy, but they're actually really helpful. They help giraffes to balance and to run, and they're also really good at kicking predators, so they're like built-in defense mechanisms. But giraffes aren't just good at running and kicking. They're also really good at regulating their body temperature. They have a special network of blood vessels in their neck, called the rete mirabile, which helps to release heat. It's like a built-in cooling system. This is really important because giraffes live in hot climates, and they need to be able to stay cool, or they would overheat and die. So it's a pretty vital adaptation. Giraffes also have a special coat pattern which helps them to blend in with their surroundings. It's like they're wearing camouflage, and they have really good hearing, which helps them to detect predators from a distance. All of these adaptations are really important for giraffes, and they help them to survive in their environment. But there's still so much we don't know about giraffes, and scientists are still learning new things about them all the time. For example, scientists have recently discovered that giraffes have a special type of fur that helps to keep them cool. It's like they have their own personal air conditioner, and they're also really good at conserving water. They can go for long periods of time without drinking, which is really helpful in the hot climates where they live. Giraffes are also really social animals. They live in groups called towers, and they have a really complex communication system. They use all sorts of sounds and body language to communicate with each other. It's like they own language. It's like they have their own language. They're also really good at working together. They'll often take turns resting and keeping watch for predators. It's like they have their own little giraffe community, and they're really good at taking care of each other. As we continue to learn more about giraffes, we're discovering just how amazing these animals really are, and how they've adapted to their environment in some really incredible ways. Giraffes are able to thrive in some of the toughest environments on Earth, from the hot savannas of Africa to the dry deserts of the Middle East, and it's all thanks to their amazing adaptations. They're like the ultimate survivors. Their ability to adapt to different environments has allowed them to spread across the continent, and they can be found in all sorts of different habitats, from forests to grasslands, and they're always finding new ways to survive and thrive. So let's take a closer look at some of the other adaptations that make giraffes so unique, and how they're able to use them to their advantage in the wild. It's really fascinating stuff. One of the most interesting things about giraffes is their ability to produce a special type of saliva that helps them to digest the leaves and fruits they eat. It's like they have their own built-in digestive system, and it's really helpful for breaking down all the tough plant material they eat. This is just one of the many adaptations that giraffes have developed over time, and it's a big part of what makes them so successful in the wild. They're able to eat all sorts of plants that other animals can't, and it gives them a real advantage when it comes to finding food. As we explore more of these adaptations, we'll start to see just how complex and fascinating the world of giraffes really is. and how they're able to use their unique abilities to thrive in all sorts of different environments. One of the most interesting adaptations that giraffes have is their long neck, which is made up of special bones and muscles that allow them to reach high into the trees to grab leaves and fruits that other animals can only dream of getting to. This is especially important in the dry season when food is scarce, and being able to reach the last remaining leaves on the tall trees can be the difference between life and death. But it's not just the length of their neck that's important, it's also the special valves in their neck that stop their brains from getting too much blood when they bend down to drink, which is a pretty clever solution to a problem that would be deadly for most other animals. These valves are like special gates that open and close to control the flow of blood to the brain, and they're a key part of what makes giraffes so unique. They also have super powerful leg muscles that allow them to run at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, which is pretty fast for an animal that's so tall and heavy. And when they're running, they use a special gait called a double suspension gallop, which is like a cross between a canter and a gallop, and it allows them to cover a lot of ground without getting too tired. This is really important for giraffes, because they need to be able to run away from predators like lions and hyenas, and they also need to be able to chase after mates and compete with other giraffes for food and territory. But giraffes aren't just adapted to running, they're also adapted to walking, and they have special pads on their feet that act like shock absorbers, which helps to reduce the impact of each step and makes it easier for them to walk long distances without getting tired. And when they're walking, they use a special technique called a pacing gait, which is where they move both legs on one side of their body at the same time, and then switch to the other side, which helps to conserve energy and make the most of their long stride. This is really important for giraffes, because they need to be able to walk long distances to find food and water, and they also need to be able to make long journeys to migrate to different parts of their territory. Giraffes also have some really cool adaptations that help them to regulate their body temperature, which is important because they live in some really hot and sunny places. They have a special network of blood vessels in their skin that helps to release heat, and they also have a thin coat of fur that reflects the sun's rays and helps to keep them cool. And when they're feeling really hot, they can even use their long neck to reach up into the shade and get some relief from the sun, which is a pretty clever trick. They also have a special type of fur that helps to protect them from the sun's rays, and it's made up of special cells that reflect the light and help to keep them cool. This is really important for giraffes because they need to be able to stay cool in order to stay healthy and survive in their environment. In addition to their physical adaptations, giraffes also have some really interesting behavioral adaptations that help them to survive and thrive in their environment. For example, they have a really complex social structure, with different groups of giraffes forming and breaking apart over time, and they also have a special communication system that involves using low grunts and moans to talk to each other. They also have a really interesting way of sleeping, where they take turns resting while the others keep watch for predators, which is a pretty clever way to stay safe. And they also have a special way of drinking water, where they spread their front legs wide apart and bend down to reach the water, which is a pretty tricky thing to do when you're as tall as a giraffe. So, let's dive deeper into some of the other amazing adaptations that giraffes have evolved to survive in their environment. One of the most obvious is their long neck, which allows them to reach leaves and fruits on tall trees that other animals can't access. But what's really cool is that their neck is made up of special blood vessels that help regulate their blood pressure. Because when you're that tall, your heart has to work really hard to get blood all the way up to your brain. It's like having a super powerful pump that makes sure your brain doesn't get damaged from the high pressure. And then there's their spots, which are like built-in camouflage. Each giraffe spot pattern is unique, like a fingerprint, and it helps them blend in with their surroundings, making it harder for predators to spot them. The spots also help giraffes regulate their body temperature, as the dark spots absorb heat and the light spots reflect it. It's like they're wearing a special coat that keeps them cool in the hot sun. But that's not all. The spots can also help giraffes recognize each other, kind of like how we recognize our friends by their faces. Giraffes also have really long eyelashes and thick eyebrows that protect their eyes from the sun and dust. It's like they're wearing built-in sunglasses and a face mask. And their eyes are specially designed to see long distances, which is helpful for spotting predators or finding food from afar. They can even see colors that are invisible to humans, which is pretty mind-blowing. But what's really interesting is that giraffes have a special valve in their neck that stops their brains from getting too much blood when they bend down to drink, which is a pretty clever solution to a problem that could be really dangerous. Another adaptation that's really important for giraffes is their hooves. They're made of a hard, rubbery material that helps them grip the ground and prevents them from slipping and falling. And the hooves are also specially shaped to help giraffes balance and move around, which is crucial when you're as tall and heavy as a giraffe. It's like they're wearing special shoes that are designed just for them. But what's really cool is that giraffes can even use their hooves to defend themselves if they need to, by kicking predators or other giraffes that get too close. Giraffes have also developed some really interesting social behaviors that help them survive. For example, they often live in small groups, called towers, which are usually made up of females and their young. The males will often wander on their own or form bachelor groups, which is pretty typical for a lot of animal species. But what's really interesting is that giraffes have a special way of communicating with each other through body language and vocalizations, which helps them stay connected and work together to stay safe. They can even recognize each other's voices, which is pretty amazing. And they also have a special hierarchy within their groups, with dominant females leading the way and younger giraffes following their lead. It's like they have their own little giraffe society, with rules and norms that help them thrive in their environment. This social structure is just one of the many adaptations that have helped giraffes survive and thrive in their habitats. Another key adaptation is their unique coat patterns, which act as camouflage in the wild. The spots or patches on a giraffe's fur help them blend in with their surroundings, making it harder for predators like lions and hyenas to spot them. And it's not just about hiding from predators. Their coats also help them regulate their body temperature, with the dark patches absorbing heat and the light patches reflecting it. But perhaps one of the most impressive adaptations of giraffes is their ability to drink water. You'd think that with their long necks, they'd have a hard time bending down to take a sip. But giraffes have found a way to make it work. They spread their front legs wide apart and bend their necks, using their long tongues to reach the water. And to avoid getting their brains flooded with blood when they stand up quickly, giraffes have special valves in their neck to stop the flow of blood. It's like they have their own built-in blood pressure system, which is just incredible. Giraffes have also adapted to their environment in terms of what they eat. Their long necks allow them to reach leaves and fruits on tall trees that other animals can't access, which is a major advantage in the wild. And their special four-chambered stomachs help them digest the tough, fibrous plants that are abundant in their habitats. They can even go without water for long periods of time, getting moisture from the leaves they eat. It's like they have their own built-in water bottle, which is just amazing. All these adaptations have helped giraffes thrive in their environments, from the savannas of Africa to the zoos and wildlife parks around the world. And by studying these adaptations, we can learn more about the importance of conservation and protecting these incredible animals. So if you're as fascinated by giraffes as I am, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll be exploring the conservation efforts that are helping to protect giraffe populations and their habitats. We'll be talking to experts in the field and getting up close and personal with these amazing animals. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of giraffe adaptations. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more wildlife videos, and we'll see you in the next one.